Standard setting, bro. Standard setting. Let me get my little takedown. I rarely will take this down, gun down on camera, but it's so quick with a SIG, right? Safety check, safe direction, lock to slide back. We rotate the takedown lever. I'm going to do this so I don't knock the tripod. Once that's done, voila. SIG is done. I got some TWB25 lubricant on the slide there, on the frame. Then if you want, you just pop your recoil spring out, clean the gun. I just cleaned this today. Done. Simple. There's that breech block that you can take out. We talked about that. SIG is, by the way, a very safe handgun, and one thing I've always loved about SIGs is they don't have, putting it back together, any additional safeties. You got a slide lock, you got the hammer drop, and that's all you need. I've always said that in my reviews. Some guns, I got to be honest, do need a safety. Like a 1911 variation, obviously you're going to need a safety. But one with an initial long, heavy double action trigger pull, why do you need a safety, dude? You don't. It's just added complication. Yeah, but what if someone grabs your gun and they take it out of your holster? Well, I'd say you got other issues, and number one issue is gun retention. All kinds of techniques you can practice with that, and you can get a retention holster if that's a concern. Field strip and maintenance is cake on a SIG, and yes, lots of other guns copy it and they get it right as well. I don't know, just because it's handy. CZ75 P07 duty, also outstanding. Okay, lighter than the 228, by the way. There's your width comparison between the two guns. This is a 40, by the way, not a 9. Okay, but it breaks down the same way. Simple. There's lots of other guns. XD series, XDM by Springfield. Thank goodness, too, because it just works. Accessories and versatility. The cool thing about the 228, and the 226 for that matter, is they predominated and were extremely successful in an era that had fewer, how do I say, designs competing in the accessories market. In other words, the SIG pistols became so entrenched in law enforcement and in some circles military that the accessories manufacturers jumped on the bandwagon. They said, man, this gun rocks. We can be profitable making holsters, sights, grips, other accessories for SIGs, and this started back in the 1980s and it still continues to this day. If you are the proud owner of hopefully a West German SIG 228, the good news is you have all kinds of accessory options. The magazines, like I said, for the 226 will fit your gun. All kinds, well, I wouldn't say all kinds, but there are grip options out there. Tons of holster options, and yes, ones that fit the 226 generally will fit the 228 as well. Here's a Phobos. Snap, Duracoated. You know, I got to tell you this too, it just kind of doesn't sit well with me having just done that, because I just put some more wear on my 228. Oh, Nutnfancy, don't be such a pansy. Dude, this is a collectible. Remember, my POU for this is a collectible gun. I want to retain value. I want it to be cool. The cleaner and more pristine it is, I finally came to the conclusion, the cooler it is. Okay, I've got all kinds of other guns I can send rounds downrange. If you even knew how many I have access to, it would blow your mind. Don't need to use my 228. Let's take care of it, make it special. And yes, accessories all over the map. You can find any holsters you want for it. You'll still see the P228 listed in a lot of the holster manufacturers' websites and their literature. And then we go into versatility. This is kind of philosophy of use. I covered most of it. You know, combat sidearm, home defense, vehicle gun, forgot to mention that one, duty sidearm, all the above could be. I will tell you this though, and I've got to be honest with you guys, I always am. I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I don't say anything I don't really believe either. This is a gun size that I would rarely use. Most often, just like I said, I don't know if I said or not, in compact it ain't. I'm going to go full-size pistol, or I'm going to go subcompact. Not between the two. Because if I'm going with a dedicated holster system, drops to my side, maybe it's a shoulder holster, chest carry, drop down, whatevs, this is it. I want full length sight radius. I want full length barrel for maximum velocity. I do want a little extra weight to help tame the shots, get me back on target quicker. Remember, there is such a thing as good weight. Okay, if I'm in a WROL situation, this gun is coming along. This is my choice right here. If I'm in a war situation, soldier, you bet it's going to be a full-size service pistol, a SIG, a Glock, a CZ, Smith, XD, something that can rock and roll. Still a backup arm, primary fighting arm would be a tactical carbine, maybe shotgun depending on what's going on. If I'm in civilian concealed carry, it's going to be a subcompact like this. Kel-Tec PF9, any number of the compact, you know, weapons that are out there. Okay, so the 228 kind of falls between, and so someone may, and actually it'd be an honest question, well, why keep the 228? Well, I'll tell you, and I've told you all along, it gets to second type of cool. It can fill the role of the 226 every bit as good. Maybe it's down a few rounds, we've talked about that, a couple rounds, but again, we're talking 16 rounds in a 228 with today's Mech-Gar magazines. Slap a 20 in there. But it's just cool. And it may be in certain very select POUs that shorter barrel length would be an advantage. It's hard for me to identify what those would be, but to some they would value. If you have a clean 228 like this one, it's going to continue to go up in value is my guess. I'm just saying, it is. If you don't shoot it, you take care of it, I think the prices are going to go up. Because they're harder to find. Most 228s out there are probably heavily used, they're abused, they're worn, and yet they're still great shooters. If on the secondary market you can find one and you dig the things I'm telling you, score it, man. You'll love it. Yes, again, not the lightest, not the highest firepower, but deadly accurate, deadly reliable. I mean, you talk about reliable, going down the track record, durability and reliability, amazing. You know, does it rise to the level of Glock, 350,000 rounds buried in mud, never lubricate it, and it'll always shoot, never break? I don't know. Probably not. I'll tell you this, though, I ain't seen many SIG problems in my shooting. The only ones I've seen have been magazine-related. Yep, not so much. Love the Sig 228, and for value, I think it's worth every penny. I don't know, what can you score a 228 for these days? I don't know. I don't even know where to send you to find them. They're so, guys who have them, especially after they watch this video, are not going to sell them.
Don't jerk that trigger.
I think you'd be dumb to sell them. Hang on to it forever. How would you like to be a kid and your dad hands you down a West German 228 as a gift? Here you go, son. I love you. There's your 228. Thanks, Dad. Dude. Reliable, durable, handsome. That's a cool looking gun. I talked about in the 226 series how it's a favorite Hollywood gun. 226 and the 228. Wasn't, you know, X-Files, weren't they running around with 228s back in that TV show? I think so. Track record, already talked about it. Still serving in the militaries, some PDs, law enforcement arenas, the P228. Not available to civilians anymore. I think ceased doing that around 2005. It could be off on the time frame. I apologize. Way cool gun though. You may see it every so often coming out of its hiding place to send some rounds here in the Nutnfancy project. But honestly, like I said, it's on limitation and preservation. I remember one time, this is, I've shown lots of 226s. This one's mine. I showed this one to a gun shop owner, and right there and then, he's like, I'll buy that from you right here. And I think he threw down a price of like $750 for my SIG. By the way, also West German stamped. I was like, no, I don't think so. He's like, come on, man, I'll do it. I love that gun. I love the West German SIGs. And I'm like, sorry, won't do it. And I'm so glad I said no. Same thing goes for this, the 228. Slightly more compact, slightly lighter version of the 226. It is also a Warrior pistol. I just love it. This is a Nutnfancy review. Hope you liked it. Thanks for watching and all the support. Out.